The arena lights dimmed, and a deep silence spread through the crowd, the kind of silence that only comes before something massive. The camera panned across thousands of faces, tense, expectant, electric. From the red corner emerged a man known for chaos, Subriel Matias, the Puerto Rican powerhouse, eyes burning with quiet fury. Every step he took echoed like a drumbeat of destiny. Across the ring, under the blue lights, Liam Paro, Australia's unbeaten warrior, stood still, calm, collected, but eyes sharp as steel. He knew exactly what stood before him, a man who doesn't just fight, but destroys. As the ring announcer's voice thundered through the speakers, the crowd erupted, Puerto Rican flags waving like flames, while the Aussies shouted back, refusing to be outdone. 2 worlds, 2 warriors, 1 ring. The atmosphere was thick, every breath carrying the weight of history. The bell hadn't even rung yet, but you could feel it, the tension, the silent war of eyes, the storm gathering inside each man. Matias smirked, that cold, confident smirk of a predator who's seen fear before. Paro just stared back, emotionless, almost daring him to try. The referee called them to the center. Gloves touched, barely. No words, no nods, just pure energy. The bell rang, and just like that, the storm began to move. Matias charged first, his gloves cutting through the air like thunder. Paro circled, light on his feet, reading every twitch, every motion. The crowd roared as the first punches landed. Quick, heavy, dangerous. This wasn't just a fight, it was destiny in motion. The bell echoed like thunder across the arena, and what followed was pure chaos wrapped in precision. Subriel Matias wasted no time. He came forward like a storm unleashed, every punch carrying the fury of 1,000 training nights. His gloves cut through the air, snapping with terrifying speed, while Liam Paro danced just out of reach, cool and calm, like ice refusing to melt under the heat of war. The first round was an exchange of warnings, both men studying, testing, feeling the danger in every inch of movement. Matias jabbed hard, twice, then swung a left hook that grazed Paro's chin. The crowd gasped, a collective breath stolen from thousands of throats, but Paro didn't flinch. Instead, he countered sharply, a straight left that landed flush. For a moment, Matias blinked, surprised. This wasn't going to be easy. Round 2 began with both men turning up the tempo. Matias pressed forward, body shots ripping through the guard, relentless like waves crashing on a rock. The commentary team couldn't believe the precision. Matias is walking through fire, but Paro's timing, it's surgical, they shouted, as sweat flew from both fighters under the lights. Every second was a gamble. Matias's power versus Paro's calm, fire against ice. Midway through the 3rd round, Matias landed a crushing uppercut that shook Paro's balance. The crowd exploded. Paro stumbled, but before Matias could pounce, the Australian gritted his teeth and fired back. A brutal left to the body, then a hook to the head. Both men stood toe-to-toe, trading thunder in the center of the ring. The bell rang again, but no one moved. They just stared, chest heaving, eyes locked. Neither man blinked. It wasn't about rounds anymore. It was about survival. The war had officially begun. The air was heavy. Both fighters had crossed the line between strategy and survival. Round 4 began, and you could see it. The bruises forming, the breath shortening, the rhythm changing. Subriel Matias, known for his relentless pressure, began closing the distance again, eyes locked on Paro like a wolf stalking its prey. Every step he took forced Paro backward. Every jab he threw sent shockwaves through the crowd. Paro, though, wasn't breaking. He was calculating. He kept slipping punches, countering with quick, cutting shots that found their mark. Matias smirked through the pain, a small trickle of blood running from his lip, not from weakness, but from awakening. The beast inside him had tasted battle. Then came the moment. Matias trapped Paro in the corner, unloading a barrage of hooks that sounded like cannon fire. Thud, crack, thud. The crowd erupted, some shouting for the referee to step in. But Paro refused to fold. He weaved, ducked, then unleashed a sharp right uppercut that snapped Matias's head back. The arena went silent. For a split second, time froze. Both men stood, breathing heavy, eyes burning with mutual respect and madness. The bell rang, ending the round, but their stares told the real story. This fight had crossed into something primal. This was no longer about titles or pride. This was a battle of wills, and neither was ready to surrender. Round 6 began, and the energy shifted. Matias, breathing through gritted teeth, started throwing with bad intentions. His punches weren't just meant to score, they were meant to end. He cornered Paro again, body shots sinking deep, draining energy with each blow. The sound of leather colliding with flesh echoed like war drums. But Paro, the calm before the chaos, began reading Matias like an open book. He timed his movements perfectly, slipping under a massive right hand and countering with a blistering left hook that stunned the Puerto Rican warrior. Matias stumbled back for the first time. The crowd went wild. Paro saw his chance and rushed in, combinations flying, adrenaline roaring through his veins. Matias leaned on instinct, fighting off pure heart. Every punch Paro threw, he answered with one of his own. The center of the ring became a storm. No defense, no retreat, just courage and chaos. Commentators were losing their minds. This is unreal. They're fighting like it's the last round of their lives. As the bell neared, Paro landed another clean shot, a straight left that snapped Matias's head. But instead of backing down, Matias smiled, that eerie, dangerous smile. He whispered something to Paro before the bell rang, something only they could hear. Whatever it was, it changed everything. The crowd could sense it, the calm before something brutal. The next round wasn't going to be boxing. It was going to be war. Round 7 opened with a roar from the crowd, everyone on their feet, sensing the end. Matias's corner had told him one thing: end it now. He came out like a man possessed, every punch thrown with fury and precision. Paro tried to circle, keep distance, but the ring suddenly felt smaller. Matias's pressure was suffocating. Then it happened. Matias feinted with a jab, stepped in, and unleashed a brutal left hook, followed by a thunderous right hand. The sound echoed through the arena like a gunshot. Paro wobbled, eyes dazed, legs shaky. Matias smelled blood. The Puerto Rican predator unleashed a combination: uppercut, left, right, body, head, and Paro crashed into the ropes, fighting back purely on instinct. The referee watched closely, the crowd screaming. Paro tried one final counter, a desperate left hand, but Matias walked through it, landing a monstrous right that sent Paro reeling. The referee jumped in. It was over. TKO. Subriel Matias wins. The crowd erupted, half in shock, half in awe. Matias raised his arms, sweat and blood glistening under the lights, emotion flooding his face. Across the ring, Paro nodded in respect. Beaten, but never broken. As the replays rolled, commentators called it a war that reminded the world why boxing is called the sweet science of pain. Matias had proven his dominance once again, but this wasn't just victory. This was a message, a warning to the entire division. If you step in the ring with Subriel Matias, be ready to walk through fire.